Urban Artificial Intelligence Strategic Thinking Media Platform. In a recent Joe Budden podcast episode, QueenFlip asked Joe for a way to make 30K a month at the JBP. Now, if you've been following the Joe Budden podcast lately, that's all they've been talking about. They've been having a lot of contract talks, a lot of money talks. And I got to say, Joe is doing this strategically, man. And this is a strategic thinking media platform. In the early days of the Joe Budden podcast with Rory and Mal, when they got into their contract talk bag, that's where a lot of awkwardness came in, a lot of miscommunication came in. So I believe Joe is doing this. He talks about money and contracts so much on the show to be transparent, to show people, hey, I'm okay having these conversations. It's cool with me. Everything is transparent. With Rory and Ma basically calling him a thief, Joe feels like he want to change the narrative, so he want to be transparent. He want to talk about contract talks as much as they come up. Anytime people bring him up on the show, he don't shy away from them. That's what happened with QueenFlip. QueenFlip tried to make 30 racks a month. And when we talk about how much he's made in the past, this is possible. After doing some research and just following the show, each of these cast members probably make anywhere between 17 to 25,000 a month. All right. So QueenFlip want to get away to get that up to 30K. He want to find a way to get 30K a month from just the Joe Budden podcast. Now he has other channels, he has other sources of content that he gets paid from. He has other sources of income, but he wants to get 30K alone a month from the Joe Budden podcast. He asked Joe Budden, was that possible? Joe Budden's first reply was no. He said no. Then once the conversation kept going, he got into a way that he thought it could be possible. Joe got into a conversation about a daily show. Joe said that's the only way that Flip could get up to 30,000 a month is if he was to do a daily show, which would be 5 days a week. Now they already do shows 2 days a week. So 3 more days a week, he would get that 30K a month. Y'all get in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about that. Do y'all think that's a good deal? 5 shows a week, 30K a month. I think that's a great deal to sit around and talk. Now, of course, Joe being Joe, once they got into the details of this daily show, Joe then said he would just have Erickson and Parks. He wouldn't bring everybody along for that. And of course, if this is a concrete idea, and this is something that Joe Budden is really considering, if that's the lineup that he has for Erickson and Parks, QueenFlip is trying to figure out a way to get into that lineup so he can be on for that daily show because he's the one that proposed the 30K a month initiative. He's the one that asked for it, not Erickson or Parks. Erickson and Parks may make more than the rest of the cast because they do a little bit more, but whatever they make, QueenFlip is trying to get up to the 30K, and he's the one that brought up the idea. In my opinion, this is a strategic move by Joe. He basically said, hey, yeah, I'm going to do something that can reflect you getting 30K, but I'm not going to bring you along. Now, that don't mean he won't bring him along for the whole time. Maybe he's just doing this to see how Flip is going to react to that. Think about it. If you own a network and one of your employees on your podcast want to make more money monthly, and y'all come up with the idea on the show to do a daily show, why would you not offer a slot on that show to the employee who thought of it? Not to say that QueenFlip thought of the Daily Show idea, but he thought of the initiative to get the extra 30K. So you would create that segment, but not invite the cast member on who actually wanted to work more. That seems kind of backwards, or either he's playing like a mental game just to see what QueenFlip does, see how QueenFlip react to it. Because if he's serious about that 30K, he's going to make sure that daily shows are quality. Even though they're every day, they're not going to be as long as far as length goes. But if you want that 30K, you're going to make sure they're quality so the segment can continue. By Joe agreeing to the extra segment or even discussing the extra segment, and in those discussions excludes Flip, I don't know, man. Y'all get in the comments, man. Let me know what y'all think about that. Does he want QueenFlip to react? Is he serious about it? Or does he just not think that QueenFlip can handle a daily show? Y'all get in the comments and let me know. QueenFlip see how much money is in the content creation. He spoke about making 46,000 it was either last month or a couple of months ago from his In the Room episode where Imani fought back Woody. That went viral. That went crazy. And QueenFlip supposedly made $46,000 in 1 month off of that show. QueenFlip wants to build that infrastructure. He wants to build that program. He wants to build that segment. That in the room, it went viral. I think that was the first or second episode, maybe. I'm not sure, but it's early in that evolution of that show. He wants to put money into that. He wants to put his time, his network into that. Joe did speak on not wanting the money on the in the room show. But good thing he went on there because that was extremely funny, man. That was one of the funniest things that went viral in a long time. The whole "you can't show me grace" thing, that it was crazy. It was very funny. I watched that whole episode. Good episode. And QueenFlip goes viral more than any other co-host on the Joe Budden podcast. He knows the behind the scene numbers. He knows how much these viral videos are making. Joe Budden is making $30,000 and $40,000 off of single videos with the Patreon, with the whole pay-per-view thing. He's got a lot of different streams of revenue connected to one show, which is the Joe Budden podcast. So I want y'all to get in the comments and let me know this. If the Joe Budden podcast moves to a daily format, would that change the structure of podcasting? Will we see more podcasters feel the need to make daily content? I think Joe is going to move to the structure, all right? But I think he's going to be swapping out different co-hosts on different days. He may be there every day and Parks may be there every day, but he's going to be swapping co-hosts out. There's no way he can do that with everybody on the show. He can't pay everybody $30K a month. He can't do that. But if they do move to this daily format, this may be a groundbreaking move in podcasting. I want to see where this goes. And how much credit does Joe owe Flip for coming up with this concept? If you watch the episode, I feel like this was an organic episode. I feel like Joe was kind of making a joke when he said, if you wanted that 30K, you have to be up here daily. But as the conversation evolved, it started kind of to be something that we seen could actually happen. They was discussing it like it was something that could actually happen. And when you think about the amount of chairs that's up there, when you think about the amount of mics, the amount of people on staff, they could pull that off. They could do a podcast 5 days a week. They could do a solid 1 to 2 hours 5 days a week. Maybe not no 3 or 4 hour joints, but they could pull off a solid podcast every day. And that would be kind of crazy if it had audio and video every single day. That would be insane, man. Get in the comments and let me know, is this what the podcast game is evolving to? Every day, checking in, topics every day, updates every day. This is getting kind of crazy, man. This is the future of content creation, man. Urban Artificial Intelligence, strategic thinking media platform. If you enjoy this content, like, share, subscribe, and help the channel grow. And do y'all think QueenFlip gonna get that 30K? I don't know. I'm gonna see y'all in the next episode. Peace.